Okay, so we're going to go through some of the questions for 75 game 4. Question 19 is first. And this one is our standard acceptability question that typically is the first question that you're going to get. So you can go through the rules one by one and eliminate the rule breakers. The first rule I would get from the rules up here, which is that we have to have at least 3 features per issue. So we could go through that one. What would be, I think probably a maximum of 1 industry feature might be the easiest one to apply. So let's check that out. So for A, we have slot 2 has an industry feature, and then slot 3 has a second industry feature. So not a continuation of the first, but actually a second industry feature. So A is out. If we keep going, B doesn't have any industry. C has an industry feature that occupies 2 slots, which is fine. D has a single one occupying 2 slots. E has a single industry feature occupying 1 slot. So that one's fine. We've dealt with that rule. We can work our way up. So if we have any finance or technology feature, then the first spot has to have finance or technology. So A, we have finance in the first spot, so that's fine. B, we have a graphic in the first spot, and then we have a technology feature in the second spot. So that one is not going to work for us. So because we have a tech feature, we should have either finance or tech in slot 1. C, we have 1 and 2 occupied by industry, but we actually have a finance feature in slot 5, so we should have finance or tech in slot 1, so C is out. D, we have tech in slot 1, so we're not going to be able to apply this rule, and E, we have tech in slot 1. So that one, if we had to apply the rule, it would work. All right, so we've applied that one completely, and then we have to have features occupying consecutively numbered slots. Okay, so for D, we have 2 and 3 occupied by a single feature, which is fine. E, we have slots 2 and 4 occupied by a single feature, and then it goes back to slot 3. So that is not okay. So D is the correct answer, and we applied those 3 rules. Question 20. Okay, so here we get a question-specific condition, and then they say which one of the following is required. So that would be a must be true question, so we should be able to deduce something based on the extra information that they give us and connecting that to the rules. So if an issue of the newsletter has no technology feature, and if there is a finance feature occupying both slots 4 and 5, which one of the following is required? Okay, so that looks like it's leaning into this rule here, right? So we have finance, so we need to have either finance or technology in slot 1, but there are no technology features, so it's got to be finance in slot 1. So A is the correct answer. Question 21. Which one of the following is not allowed for an issue of the newsletter? So this would be a must be false. Okay, so 4 of the answer choices are going to be possible. So we have 4 could be trues, and then the correct answer is the one that's impossible, that must be false. So A, is it possible that there is exactly 1 industry feature and it occupies slot 1? So we have a maximum of 1 industry feature. We need to have 3 features minimum per issue, but we could have multiple features of the same type. So we could have a marketing feature, and then we could have a second marketing feature and some graphics. That would be fun. We just wouldn't be able to have any finance or technology in this particular one. So that one's allowed, so A is out. B, there is exactly 1 finance feature and it occupies slot 2. So now we have a problem, because if we have a finance feature, then either finance or technology has to occupy slot 1. So what are we going to do, right? That is triggered. So we have finance feature in slot 2. Okay, so that means that we're going to have a technology feature in slot 1 because there's exactly one finance feature. So that one actually works out okay because we have the consequence that it either has to be finance or technology in slot 1. So we could add technology and fulfill that condition. So B is also possible. All right, C, there's exactly one technology feature and it occupies slot 3. Very similar to B, we would just have to have finance in slot 1. So that's applying that second rule there. D for this one, each feature except the feature occupying slot 1 is either finance or marketing. That's fine because then we could have technology in slot 1. Yeah, so that would be okay. And then E, each feature except the feature occupying slot 5 is either industry or marketing. So here we run into an issue with rule 2. So if we have a bunch of features here, so we have industry and we have marketing and we could have another marketing. We could have another marketing. There's no maximum for the number of features. So we could have 1, 2, 3 marketing. There's a maximum for the number of industry features. So we can only have one industry, but we could fill up the rest of the slots each with features. We don't have to have any graphics. But then that slot 5, they are saying there's a feature there. It's not a graphic. And they're saying that it's not industry or marketing. So it has to be finance or technology. But if we add a finance or technology feature, then slot 1 should be occupied by finance or technology, but they say that all the other slots are occupied by industry or marketing. So that's going to be a problem. So E is the one that must be false, that cannot be true, that's impossible. Okay, so I'll let you do the last 2 questions on your own and get back to me if you're finding them particularly challenging or you'd just like to see how I do them.